This will be our global broadcast generic. First question for Kelly, what attracted you to the project?
So many things. I think, yeah, firstly, just the fact that it's part of the Disney animation world. And then growing up as a kid, I was so obsessed with all of the Disney animated movies, and recognizing the legacy behind that, I think, is definitely one of the things that attracted me to it. The second thing is just the representation aspect of it, recognizing that this movie was going to be inspired by the part of the world that my family's from. Made me really excited. And the third thing is that Raya is a very different type of character. And I think Disney's really trying to broaden the idea of what people think when they think of the words hero, when they think of the word princess. Like, Raya is unlike any princess or hero we've seen in this world before. And I think that, yeah, it's really cool to be a part of.
And Awkwafina, what attracted you to the project?
I think what attracted me to the project was just hearing what it was about, and how it would not only feature kind of the cultures of Southeast Asia, but also its first Southeast Asian Disney princess. And then hearing about the character that they had in mind for me, Sisu, that she was able to kind of explore being funny, but then also being, having these kind of like tear-jerker scenes that really I loved reading. And I think playing her was really just one of the greatest joys of my life. It really, really loved it.
Kelly, much has been said about Raya being the first Southeast Asian princess. So how do you feel about getting to voice her, and how is she different from other princess characters that we have seen?
Yeah, I feel like it is and doesn't really make sense. It's really incredible to be a part of. And when I think of, yeah, just the legacy of all of these incredible Disney movies, and specifically if we're talking about Disney princesses, yeah, Raya is a really different character. And I want to be really specific about the way that I speak about Disney princesses. I think a lot of times people say there's sort of a negative connotation about those earlier movies. And I don't necessarily believe that. I think those earlier movies are really good. I think the problem is when we sort of have a really narrow perception of what it means to be a princess. And now we're sort of opening up the doors in terms of the types of people that we think of when we think of those words, because there really is nothing wrong with like wanting to be in love or liking pretty dresses. There's nothing wrong with that. I think what happens is the danger becomes when we only see the same types of representation over and over and over. So you think that's the only thing you can do. Mm-hmm. That's when it becomes a negative thing. So it's really cool that we are, part of a movie that is changing that. And Raya is someone who is a warrior and who gets to be really angry, which we haven't seen before. Who, yeah, I'm just really excited for people to see this movie and to meet this character.
Beautiful. Awkwafina, Sisu is an unusual dragon character. She certainly doesn't fit the mold. What do you find the most fun about playing her, and how is she a relatable character?
I mean, I always love playing relatable characters. I never really thought that I'd find one in a dragon. I think with the normal way that we're introduced to those characters is kind of in my experience, I think of the Game of Thrones dragons comes to mind, where, they're kind of these symbols of, they're just so cool. You know what I mean? And while Sisu is very, very cool, she's also imperfect and flawed, and she's aware of those flaws. And she's very trusting and like loving, almost to a fault. She's innocent. These are all traits that I think at certain times in my life I can identify with, and that, I just really had fun playing, exploring. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell us about the unusual experience of recording from your homes and working with the directors over the internet. What was the most challenging and what was the most fun? We'll start with Kelly.
The most challenging thing about working from home, well, I was really lucky because my boyfriend's a genius and was able to create this incredible setup where, actually, Awkwafina, I wanted to ask, did you have to do a lot of ADR lines?
I did do ADR. I don't know what's considered a lot. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 sessions of it.
Yeah. Okay, so my boyfriend's like a crazy genius. I'm not sure how he did it, but because of his setup, I only had to do like, I'm not exaggerating, like 4 lines for the whole movie.
Well, I think it's his setup, but also, probably your performance.
No. I'm pretty sure it's his microphone.
Can I have come over? I mean, like, I think we're still in ADR. The movie's coming out.
You want to come over?
I have an ADR session tomorrow, actually.
But yeah, the challenges were that obviously would have loved to have been in the same room and be able to sort of create that really cool, like, creative collaboration that happens when you're all in the same space and playing off of each other. But that being said, oh yeah, wait, sorry, more challenges. The list goes on and on. The internet cutting out, bad. Any sounds from outside, and there's a lot of construction around. A lot of sounds.
And hold traffic from the inside.
Sirens, just like constant barrage
yelling.
Yeah. But that being said, I will say there were some positive experiences about it, and and those included being able to see inside people's homes and and getting more of their personality. Okay, I know that sounds so creepy, but
No, it's not. It's true. That's like, so true.
Talk about Carlos's plants. That guy has a flourishing plant population.
I was in his office most of the time.
Really?
He didn't show I didn't show when we were in sessions. He was mostly in his office, which didn't have a lot of plants. It had a lot of light though. It was a room with good light.
Really? Okay.
So we know that about his house. That's why he has a lot of plants. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he lives in an atrium. I have no idea, but I loved guessing.
Oh man, but yeah, getting to see like more parts of people's lives that we wouldn't normally get to see was pretty cool.
Nice. And then what do you hope audiences will take away when they see Raya and the Last Dragon? Awkwafina, we'll start with you.
I hope audiences see the message that I think is a really big part of the movie, and I think of all Disney movies. But for this one, trust and unity over hate. And also I hope that some people can watch the movie and identify a familiarity about the places and the people and the things that they're seeing, and then people who aren't familiar with it will gain some kind of understanding of what that world is like. And I mostly hope that everyone enjoys it.
Yep.
Great. Kelly, anything to add?
But yeah, I guess I agree with everything Awkwafina said in terms of wanting people to leave with the idea that fighting for a better world, even if you're living during a time where you don't even know it exists, is a worthwhile cause. And recognizing that the one thing to bring us out of all of this would be our communities and our relationships with each other. I think that that's something that stayed with me watching the movie, and I hope it resonates with people.
Why did you decide to voice Namari? What drew you to the part?
I was so excited to be asked to be part of Raya and the Last Dragon, and especially to voice Namari, who is Raya's nemesis. She's such a fun, badass character. She's she's a fierce warrior. She doesn't take any prisoners, but she's also got deep down, she's got buried a real vulnerability and a love of dragons, which she shares with Raya. And it's what initially caused them to bond when they were young. And yeah, it was just such a wonderful, fun experience to bring her to life and to be part of this film.
Namari is the antagonist in the film and Raya's rival, but what is there about her that you find relatable or redeeming?
Well, I think, Namari is the antagonist for most of the film. She is Raya's nemesis, they're rivals, but she's got a huge heart, which she puts on this very kind of aggressive front, but she cares very much about her people. She cares about their safety, and she loves dragons. And I think the main thing is in the world of Kumandra is that trust has been lost between different lands and different people. So Namari's been raised in a very specific way by her mother, the chief of Fang, and that's to kind of put their people first. So you can understand why she is the way she is, but really her and Raya are two sides of the same coin. Like they could have switched places when they were younger and been raised by their respective parents and easily taken each other's place. So I love that, that she's kind of the baddie, but she's also very, very human.
What did you enjoy about the process of bringing Namari to life and developing her personality and attitude?
Well, I kind of had the script as it were, and then the first time I saw the initial kind of development of what Namari's look was going to be like, that was so exciting, because then I was also told that she would be riding these giant cats, which are called surlots in the film, and that really just that all adds into, you know, your characterization when you realize, you know, she's going to be entering the scene riding one of these things, so that gives you a certain status and impetus that you maybe hadn't pictured before, and kind of the more I got to see of you know, the action that she was going to be doing, and it was just really good fun to you know, create this character that was going to have this attitude, but then you really see her being quite broken-hearted towards the end of the film. So that was just really satisfying to do, along with you know, with Don and Carlos, and to work together to kind of track her arc.
How challenging was it to record from home, and how did you work with the directors?
So it was a challenge. This is it was a unique experience. I think we had, you know, 450 cast and crew all working from all around the world to make this film come together. And you know, when I did my first session on the film, we were in the first lockdown, and I kind of converted like a very small kind of storeroom into a makeshift studio, you know, putting kind of cladding on the walls and doing it like that. And it, you know, I've never done something like this from home before, you know, having to be your own technician, failing spectacularly at it at times, birds cheeping from outside. I have really loud birds near the house, so that was all a challenge, but it was really fun. I'm really glad that we managed to do this during this very difficult time, and it's amazing how it's all come together. I feel very proud, and you know, it's a credit to all the people that have put in so much work to this film.
Great, thank you so much.
Where is the buzz? You said was mine.